Uh,
Press the triangle button for accessibility options. Chat is enabled when you're in a party. Press the right stick to form a...
just gonna play some solo. As some of you guys may know, I irresponsibly bought a few vehicles. Yesterday's stream, I made 700K, and now I have absolutely nothing. I have absolutely nothing now. It's crazy. I kind of feel like selling my vehicles. But we did get some pretty cool ones, I will say. Some pretty neat introspective. So,
Found your way back here, huh? Can't stay away.
so now I have 9 cars. Yes, I now have the Honda NSX. Hold on. Okay. I have this thing, the Mazda RX-7, which we surprisingly no longer use ever. This is still a really good car. It's 243. And we got the Subaru BRZ, which to my knowledge, I haven't even touched. Let's see the body kit. There's a Rocket Bunny. Okay. Okay. There's a lot of... I like this option, the carbon fiber. Right, the skirts. So this affects the front bumper, front fender, rear fender, side fender. Or not side fender, rear fender, front fender, diffuser, and gives you a front splitter. And I can't lie, bro. I kinda dig this body kit. I like this one. I like this one. It's more subtle. That's a really cool spoiler. I'm not a huge fan of these massive spoilers. Like, I don't like that. I like very subtle. Yeah, dude, you can customize pretty much everything on this car. This car's customization rating is so high because quite literally there's nothing you can't customize on this. Alright. Let's give the Subaru BRZ, I think that's what this car is. Yeah, that's the BRZ. I don't think I know it's the BRZ. I'm not a huge Subaru fan. Like, I like the WRZ, I believe. It's called the Impreza. That's a really cool car. Early in my youth, a lot of my peers really got into rally, liked rally racing cars. So Subarus.
Just to let you know, this friend of mine, Wayne, he's big into technique, so I wouldn't expect much racing.
Wait, what happened here? 20k, 18k, 20k. $120. Okay. I was gonna say.
He's waiting for you down at the port. Go have fun.
I'm now level 17. Now we're definitely working our way up in this game. Definitely trying to. My goal here with this is to regain all the progress I managed to obtain by playing the game for as long as I did. And if you guys don't know, I literally own 2 of almost every car in the game. So for me, yeah, this is not about this isn't about anything. This is just about me learning all the cars, getting used to how each car feels, getting new skills, getting all my cars back, modifying them, figuring them out, getting good with them at the lower levels. Like, this is just a full 100% completion, rather a mastery, so to speak, of every vehicle in the game. I don't care about the collectibles, but we'll try to obtain all of them. So my car is a little under-leveled for this, but this is a good way to experience this car. And see, back in the day, I got to a high level really early on, so I had no idea you had to be like level 20 to unlock a lot of vehicles. You know, because early on in the game, the vehicles the game gives you, like the game doesn't even give you the Mazda Miata at level 10, you know? Like you have to be level 20 to unlock the Mazda Miata, and that car sucks. So it's like, You have to take into account, you know, what early game really is supposed to look like, and so this is just a way of me mastering the game. You know, I know I'm really good at it, so I'm not too worried. Alright. Change car. This is the car I really want in real life right now, the Ford Mustang GT 2015, exact same year. This is the car I'm gonna try to get. Well, if not the 2015, I'm okay with getting a 2014. You know, still has the Coyote engine. Oh my god. He was also driving a Mustang. Yep, see? He had the purple Mustang. And I had the blue Mustang. And Mustangs are pretty kick-ass, man. Like I want to get good with, like, you know, that was, and hey, that was the first time driving this car bone stock, pretty much. What this car is, it's bone stock. Okay. Okay. We're gonna start modifying this Mustang real quick.
Bienvenido a Casa Rivera. Sit your ass down. Relax.
I put a Roots supercharger in this thing. And this thing has all Pro Plus parts. We're gonna go ahead and put better brakes in this car. I'm just saying. Let's see what's gonna piss Ferrari off the most. Community reps. Okay, alright, that's not too bad. I mean, they didn't spell Ferrari correctly. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. They tried. That's pretty cool. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I feel like the community was far more respectful with the ooh. I feel like the community was far more respectful with this car than they are with other cars. And that looks like shit. This one definitely, you can tell that this wrap definitely came off of another car. Just see how none of this really matches up. That, or I clearly have the wrong body kit. It looks like this came off of an F40. And I'm just only saying that because of the numbers and stuff. It doesn't align with the shape of the car. Yeah, see, that's a very clean. Ooh, that's a very clean. Nope. Maybe. Oh, hell nah. Ooh. Okay, okay, I see you in yellow. Okay. A lot of people hate yellow cars. I don't think they look that ugly. It just depends on what shade of yellow, and it also depends on what car it's on. Like Ferrari has one of the best looking yellows, bro. That's pretty cool paint job, but not on the not on the Ferrari Testarossa. Who? Not my style though. Okay, here we go. Oh, well, it's not the correct thing, but yeah, it's Marlboro cigarettes. Let's go. Now Marlboro is my favorite cigarette brand. don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of Ferraris were sponsored by Marlboro and Shell. Shell gas station. A Mexican flag, what the hell? Man, I'm half Mexican, but I don't want to see this fucking flag on this car. I'm sorry. I'm half Mexican, half Italian, so it's on a Mexican flag on an Italian car. I mean, that's half and half, right? That makes sense, but I don't want to see it. Not on a Ferrari. Sorry, guys. Just not on a Ferrari. Don't do it to the Ferrari. The Ferrari Rari. Okay, it looks like someone tried to put like a. I don't like that. Ooh, with the blue stripe, that's gangster. Honestly, fam, I'm gonna leave this thing just red. I'm not gonna fuck with it. Gold Ferrari. That looks like gold. Golden Ferrari. Ferrari. Okay, Ferrari would just kill me if I did this to one of their cars in IRL. If I turbocharged their car, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" This car is crazy. I might sell this car, honestly. It's a max rank of 233 currently. This is 243 and much cheaper. Okay. Let's upgrade the BRZ a little bit. Let's. This one single upgrade is gonna make a world of difference. Now that we have a single turbo in it. I feel like this car is just gonna start getting it. Hey, what's up, bro? Let's see how the... So my BMW is vehicle rank 260. My Sylvia Spec R Aero 2002 is spec 243. My Mustang is spec 243, so nice. Think about making this blue a little bit darker. I can't believe in a couple months this might actually be this very car that I'm driving in the game might be my car in IRL. Like, that's crazy to me. And I'm gonna change. And if it is, if this exact, well, I'm getting a Mustang. Whatever color my Mustang's gonna be in IRL is what I'm gonna make it in the game. Oh, Ford versus Chevy. Ford always wins. You know what Chevy stands for, ladies and gentlemen? It stands for can't have expensive vehicle yet. Oh! Ford stands for first on race day. Because, well, we're first. Sorry, I got my Ford bias going on here. I really wish that they had the new Edge Ford Mustang, and I wish that they had like the next generation after the new Edge, like the 2009 or 2008 Ford Mustang would have been pretty cool. Again, I wish they had more Lotuses, man. I really do wish that they had more Lotus vehicles. Because they only have one and it's a pretty okay vehicle. There's a lot of car brands in this game that only have like one or two cars, honestly. Like the Range Rover only has like two. Lotus only has one. Like there's only one Lotus in the entire game. There's only one, what do you call it? There's only one Pagani. There's only one Koenigsegg. It's like there's a lot of cars in this game. They only have one car of that car brand. And to me, that's kind of doo-doo. Let's give this a try. And the NSX is slow. Yeah, the NSX is just too damn slow. Slowy! Yeah, this car is a slowy. And when it says recommended vehicle level, it doesn't mean that's the exact level you're going to have. Because there's going to be cars that are going to be a lower vehicle level, and there are going to be some that are just slightly higher. So it's like, to make it fair, it's sort of a nice medium of like, okay, you know. But you can definitely go below the recommended vehicle level and still win. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult. Not by much, though. Just by a little, incy little bit. Because remember, you are racing cars that are controlled by AI. While the AI tend to not make too many mistakes, they also tend to make dumb decisions, where you, the player, can take advantage of that. So as you guys can see, the guy in front of me is a much lower vehicle level than me. No idea what he's driving. I raced really hard, man. And it appears as though I've lost. I went second place, which isn't too bad for a first try with this car. But at the same time, with this car being oh, it's a BMW that beat me. Yep, there you go, guys. BMWs always beat Hondas. It's gonna piss off a lot of Honda fanboys. BMW always wins. And to go ahead and prove that theory, we're switching to my M3. My BMW. It's crazy I could say that. Well, I didn't own the M3. I owned a 328i Sport Coupe. Which, you know, the sports trim package basically made the car look exactly like this. It was a two-door coupe. It was lower to the ground. It had some sportier, it just looked sportier, but it was not an M3. It only had the exhaust on one side. It was a dual exhaust, but it wasn't like the quad exhaust like I got on here. Now, this car is a very high performance vehicle. Oh, son of a bitch. We gotta start over. When I hit that wall, and then I made those other poor decisions, it costed me the whole race, honestly. I don't know what the fuck car is leading the race, but that car is quick. I'm gonna start over. I'll play this out just a little bit more tactically smart. I'm not gonna try to shoot out like a bullet like I did this first time. I'm gonna actually try to No. Oh. I was able to pull it away just at the last second, and we managed to narrowly miss that. Damn it, I fucked up. Damn. Have I lost my skills as a racer? Or do I just need to upgrade my vehicle? Oh, I mean, they got the leg up on me. I won't lie. They got the leg up on me on this one. I don't know how, but they did. Well, time to go sell this car then. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not like that. It's, if I can't win with this car, it means I'm the problem here. So I gotta go enhance my skills. In other words, train a little bit more with the car. I mean, I'm taking the corners perfectly fine in that race. I'm very familiar with that track. It's one of my favorite ones, but again, guys, like I was just saying, it doesn't look like I have a lot of money right now. Well, I have,
Competition's getting tough out there,
well,
huh?
100k is nothing in this game. I'm gonna be brutally honest with you guys. But like the few cars that I do have at my level 17, I'm rocking the Ferrari Testarossa. You know, at one point in time, I did have every vehicle in the game, but I was not well versed with every vehicle in the game. This playthrough, I'm trying out different things to figure out what cars I'm actually good at using. And I'll be brutally honest, I think that this Mustang performed better than my BMW, which is crazy because this vehicle rating is much higher. And I have everything that you can have for it, besides the nitrous. This will allow me to use nitrous twice, and that's what I currently have. So spamming it twice in a row would allow me to use it more times in the race. I don't know. It's worth looking at, maybe. And see, the Pro brakes. See, brakes are honestly the most underrated thing you could put on your car. Being able to stop quicker is nice, especially when you need to decrease speed to get around the corners. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I think tuning out this Honda is gonna be, well, it kind of makes no sense. You know, like this car's naturally aspirated, and we put a turbo in it. See, buying all these makes almost no sense to me. Like, yeah, you're gonna get it to 200, but uh, on-road differential. I don't care about the performance of that, you know, I just care about the handling. Okay, this takes it down to, alright, we'll put that improved clutch in there. We'll put on the sports brakes. And we'll upgrade the crankshaft. And while we're at it, the ECU. Alright. I'm gonna try it like that. Because this thing's gonna have much better this thing's gonna have really great general performance now, while also having slightly better sports, you know, speed and acceleration and all that other fancy jazz. How are we? Okay, this is one of the easiest races to do. Obviously, we're under leveled by what, 14 levels, so that's not too much. Alright, yeah, we can beat cars that are a little bit higher. You know, it's definitely not impossible. But then again, this is one of the easiest races to do. So I don't know if that's a new record for me, but that was really quick. No, I think my BMW's done this track much faster, I believe. My M3, because 0 to 60 is like what, 3.4 seconds or some crazy shit like that. So in other words, I'm able to essentially get basically to 70 miles an hour right before anyone else can even reach 30 or 40 miles an hour, and I'm already passing all those people up front. Let's try it with my BMW. Let's see. Let's stats compare real quick, okay? Yep, look, I was dead on balls accurate. Look at this. That's how much I know my cars. That's how much I know the cars that I've customized. It's 3.7 seconds. Or did I say 3.4? I don't know. I know it was the 3 second mark. This is 4.13. Honestly, the difference isn't too much, but this car also has 544 horsepower. This car, 352, which is not laughable. I mean, that's about, and this makes just makes a little bit more horsepower than my Ford Explorer, which makes about 310. Pretty much last time I put it on a dyno. So, according to factory specs, my Ford Explorer makes 290, but when I put it on a dyno, it made like 300 horsepower, and we've done some work to my Explorer. We'll leave it at that. Um, but yeah, no. Yeah, my Explorer makes like 310. I've gotten numbers of like, 308, 310 regularly, consistently. and my Explorer is naturally aspirated. This car in the game, we all know I put a single turbo on it. And it's a video game, it's not real life, but I'm just saying, if this car is making this much horsepower with a single turbo, man, this car just does not have much horsepower stock, you know? Okay. To be brutally honest, we've not really touched the R34 yet. It's really cool, whoever made this. I posted their name, I think, or I showed their thing, their gamer tag, whoever made this. But basically, if you look at the window, you'll notice that they basically they made a roll. They made it look like there's a roll cage inside there when we all know there's not. Because if you actually look from the front down back there, there's no roll cage. But if you look on the outside or on the windows, it makes it look like there's a fucking roll cage. But there isn't. So if you tighten up the window tint, you could barely tell there's not a roll cage in there. It makes it literally look like there's a fucking roll cage. Like literally. That's talent, bro. Out of a decal, you turn it into where it looks like there's a fucking roll cage in there. That's fucking crazy. To me, that's crazy. This Porsche. Let's see how the Porsche does. Oh, easily. Easily. Easy clap. Easy clap. That little Honda fucking... Say little Honda is crazy. A little Honda NSX. If that can win this race, then this car is an easy clap. Sorry, Beamer. I really do like German cars. Mostly BMWs, though. Like, that's my favorite German brand. I'd say Porsche is probably equal. But, I mean, they got Audi, Mercedes, Volkswagen. And by the way, it's not BMW, it's BMW. My German might be off, but I think it's pronounced Brandsche Motorenwerke. I believe. I probably butchered that, but yeah, it stands for Bavarian Motor Works. Because V's are W's are V's in German, so that's why it's Volkswagen. World record. Well, not world record, personal best, I think. I bet there's a lot of people in here that might wonder why I had two of every car in the game. I had a bone stock version, and then I had the modified version. Modified versions just really show the difference in the full potential of what each car has. You know, sort of way back in the day when I used to stream this game, I used to try to influence people to try new things. Although I myself just did not like Japanese cars. And so, I'm like, yeah, I know these cars all kind of suck. It's like, you know. But I gave it a try, and I actually found myself to kind of enjoy the JDM cars. My favorite JDM brand, I'd have to say, in this game is probably Nissan. In real life, I gotta say, I really do like Mitsubishi. I hate their history. I hate that they made the Zeros from World War II, Japanese fighter planes that, you know, were used at Pearl Harbor. I hate the fact that they made those, just the same as I hate the fact that Porsche made the Panzer and the Tiger engines and stuff, you know. And BMW was no different. I believe that they also made several aircraft engines and motorcycle engines for the German military. So, you know, but that's just their history. I don't care that that's what they used to do. I just, you know, it kind of sucks sometimes, but it is what it is, you know. I probably have like 100,000 again.
found your way back here, huh? Can't stay away.
So the best looking Honda in the history of Hondas has to be the NSX Type R from 1992. I hate the way the newer ones look. They just look kind of ugly. I'm not gonna hold you. Mazda RX-7, one of the best looking Mazdas available to the general public. Nissan Skyline R34. I'd say that car right there is the definitive look for JDM, the best looking JDM car of all time. Even better than the NSX. Like I said, the NSX is the best looking Honda. As such, this is the best looking Nissan, as well as is the best looking Japanese car of all time. In my opinion, it's just perfect. It's immaculate. It doesn't do what the Japanese normally do with their car designs. And then what I mean by that is, like, look at this car, like the Mazda RX-7. If you took, and I can't have an example of a Toyota Supra, but if you were to compare the Supra to this, they look really bubbly, very similar to one another. And you can even see it on this car too. Like the whole, like this car looks sexy. Like Nissan just made sexy looking cars, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like this car the Nissan made right here, this car is sexy. In my eyes, it's sexy. And then they made this. This is just it. I don't know. It's just it's done right. You know. The Supra looks too bubbly for my taste. And same thing with the RX-7. And you know, this looks really good. Like this looks like a Japanese Corvette. But that's to me what it is. That's what it's trying to be. It's like a Corvette type of deal, a mid-engine Corvette. And the problem with that is, well, I believe this car is mid-engine. That I don't actually know. But what I do know is I would still buy a Corvette over this car. And the Corvette is probably a lot faster than this car. And the thing with this car, the R34, is believe it or not, it's not doesn't make a lot of horsepower. To me, this car was all looks, and that's ultimately why I say that this is the most overrated car, the overrated JDM car in the world. But of course, that's not taking into account that all these cars have amazing aftermarket support. You can modify it. And I know I would probably hear in the comments, well, Solly, you're not considering like modifying the cars, you know, like these are that's the bone stock version of the car. It's like, okay, yeah, but well, when you see these cars, 70% of the time they're gonna be bone stock. They're collector's items. Okay? Alright? Like, you're not going to see this thing highly modified. The only time you do is in movies like Fast and the Furious and stuff, you know? And that's ultimately, I think, what made this car really, really become hyper popular. And it's not just the movie. I mean, it was popular in real life way before the movie came out. And that's just because it was a good looking car and it was hard to get your hands on it. The thing that made the JDM cars attractive to, I'd say, people like myself is the fact that you can buy them for cheap. Like the Mitsubishi Eclipse, I'm seeing them bitches go under 6K, right? Like that's relatively cheap in my eyes, especially in today's car market, especially in today's used car market, where used cars are going upwards of 8 to 10 grand, and I'm finding used, JDM sports cars. And granted, they're not fast, they're not great, but under 6K, under 7K, let alone. It's like, dude, holy shit. You know how much room that leaves me to buy upgrades for that car? You know how much room that leaves me to change things in that car and to make it really my own? Like that to me is awesome. However, when I turn the other cheek and look at the other aspect of the JDM car community, this Nissan Skyline R34 in real life probably costs $260,000. And same thing with the Toyota Supra. It also probably costs especially something like a mint condition, with really low miles. fully factory, you could probably see those things going for around the same price ballpark. And the Honda NSX Type R, the the American versions would be the Acuras. Those are going to easily go. Those are going to fetch at least 83,000 or higher. You might find them at the low end at like the 60 to 70k ballpark mark with lots of miles on them, or at least a relatively notable amount of miles. I don't know. A lot of people don't consider 50,000 miles to be a lot of miles on a Honda because Hondas are known for their reliability. Same thing with Toyotas and Nissans. Um, However, again, it's also the fact that the Honda version was the version released in Japan, and that's what makes it a JDM car. It's a Japanese domestic market because this was the version available in Japan, and that's why most of these Japanese cars in the game, the steering wheel is on the right side of the car. These are the imported versions. So, the thing is, that makes it more rare. And considering this is the Type R version, the highest trim level, whatever, makes this car a highly sought after collectible. So again, you're going to see these things go for 82k and higher. I've seen some listed for upwards of like 140k. And it's like, you can actually buy a Ferrari at that price ballpark. You can buy a car that's going to beat this car in every aspect and then some. The whole point of these cars was they were supposed to be cheaper than Ferrari, more affordable, more available. And due to the clout that they've received, the overhyping of these cars has caused them to go ridiculously higher up in value, and people don't want to get rid of them for sentimental reasons when these cars aren't actually worth what people are listing these cars to be worth. Just my eyes, because when this car was originally released, I believe this car was about 50 to 60k when it was first released. So if you account for inflation, this car actually didn't go up much in value, to be brutally honest with you. But when I see this car going for like 100k, it's like, well, this car, the only thing about it was, it was cheaper than the Ferrari, and now you're paying about what you'd pay for a Ferrari for this car, and it's like, well, I might go buy a Lamborghini and get the best of both worlds, right? And if you don't know what I mean by that, let me explain. Ferrari does not like you touching their cars. And especially Ferrari does not let you just go out and buy a brand new Ferrari. You have to buy a few used Ferraris, and it's a whole process to even get to getting a new Ferrari, let alone buying a Ferrari. So, a lot of people want to skip the hassle, and that's why they go with Lamborghini. Lamborghini is a lot more available to the public. I'm not saying they're cheap. Generally speaking, I think some Lamborghinis, the price ballpark is a lot wider than the Ferrari ballpark, meaning like they do have lower end Lamborghinis that you can buy. Like back in the 2010s, like the mid 2000s, they really had the Gallardo, which for the most part was actually kind of an affordable Lamborghini and a great way to start your journey in owning a sports car, like an actual true Italian sports car. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Lamborghinis tend to hold their value. Despite them being a high-risk asset, like cars depreciate, That's why people say investing in cars is kind of pointless. Like, why would you invest in a car? It's like, well, here's the thing, right? These are liquid assets. Okay, if you go to sell a Lamborghini, you're going to probably end up selling it. There's going to be a buyer that's going to be ready to buy it. And at the right ballpark, you can drop it. Now, the 1991 Honda Civic with 310,000 miles on it, that has rust on it. It's got a fucking, it sounds like a damn lawnmower. Parts of the car are just, strained out. And that car's gonna fetch lower than less than 500 bucks. It's not really a liquid asset at that point. And I hate to admit it, but the people that say this car just keeps on running and it just sounds like absolute shit, it's kind of irritating a little bit. Because it's like completely ignoring the fact that you have to actually maintain your vehicles. And the thing is, those are the same people that bitch about, well, German cars aren't really reliable, you know, they break down and this and that. It's like, well, yeah, if you treat the car like shit, it's gonna run like shit. If you don't change the oil or the fluids and you don't maintain the vehicle, you know, the thing is, you gotta understand, these cars are highly engineered. You know, these BMWs are engineered in such a professional way, like the parts move a lot faster, so they wear down a lot quicker. And they strain, and you know, I mean, these cars will push themselves to the limits. If you do your part, these cars will go very fucking fast, very fucking quickly. The problem is, they're not meant to just do that on most BMWs. Most BMWs are for like large luxury cars with just sport performance. They're not meant to be driven like sports cars. Whereas the Japanese cars are economy cars that have the capability of taking the abuse that sports cars can take. But the thing about most sports cars that most people don't realize is even like the NASCAR stuff, cars, you know, they get their parts replaced after like 10,000 miles or less. You know, it's not like those cars are you know, using the same parts they did 8 races ago. People are like, well, yeah, and it's like, well, yeah, because these cars are driving over 200 miles an hour consistently every week. You know what I mean? It's like, the problem is, you know, when you're a commercial car that's just meant to get you from point A to point B, it's not meant to go 160 miles an hour down the highway every fucking day. And if you do that every fucking day, your car is gonna fucking have problems. The thing is, the Japanese were clever. They made a very, you know, like a lot of their cars have low horsepower numbers. These cars aren't pushing a whole lot of power. So the engines aren't straining as much, and they're very simple. And there's a lot of aspects that they went ahead and made more reliable. Like they use a timing chain instead of a timing belt. The timing belt's gonna wear out if you drive it fast. And you know, just little shit like that Honda does. That makes their cars reliable for general use. Like if I buy a brand new Honda Civic and I drive it for 50,000 miles and have no issues, fine. No maintenance, no issues, cool. Now if I get to that 100,000 miles and I haven't maintained anything, I haven't changed the oil, the car's gonna have problems. You're gonna have to maintain the damn car. You know, it's just like, if you do that, then yeah, your car is gonna basically run like shit, if not completely break down. You know, like and I say changing your oil. Yeah, if you don't change your oil, yeah, your car is fucked. But you know, it's the other stuff too. And genuinely speaking, my first car was a BMW, same year as this BMW. Looks exactly the same, exact same series, the 3 Series, right? The N3. Mine was a 328i. And every person that I knew, not everybody, a lot of people, were telling me that that car's gonna break down on me. That car's gonna fail me. The car only failed me when I had went airborne in that car. You know, that car had only fucked up when I had fucked it up. Me, the driver, not the car. I had almost 0 problems with that damn car. And I took it, I maintained it, I replaced it with a used car, I replaced the parts that needed to be replaced. You know, the blower motor went out, and it's no problem. Why? Because it's a used car. You know? Like, somebody else drove that car before me, and they needed to do that much needed maintenance. And so it's like, okay, I'm inheriting their problems. I'm not throwing a fit about it. I'm not proclaiming that the car is unreliable. It's the other people that they go from driving like a 2003 Toyota Prius to all of a sudden somehow miraculously they get their hands on a BMW. But it's a used BMW for very low price, and it's just not the same. You have to take care of those cars. There's a lot of stuff you have to replace, and so what they get is, well, usually people that own BMWs are usually rich, upper middle class to rich people. And what they'll do is they'll have the car until its extended warranty expires. They'll drop the car. They'll get a new one, and they don't even care about the fucking car. They just, to them, it's just a fucking car. It just gets them from point A to point B. Right? That mindset has basically made them successful, right? They just treat it as such. Or people like me, they look at the BMW and it's like almost like a dream car kind of thing. It's like, wow, that's a really cool car. We get really connected with those cars. And at the same time, like, people like me also can't really afford to fully maintain the vehicles 24/7, and it's just at that point then it's not really worth it. So that's why a lot of people don't like BMWs. But the fact is, they go about it the wrong way by proclaiming the cars are unreliable, that the cars are shit, that the cars are crappy, that they're going to break down on you, that they're overcomplicated. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, BMW doesn't want you working on your car. That's why they make it so difficult. That's why you need very specific tools to work on it. And, everything's in metric, and gee whiz, you can't convert metric to standard. It's like, if you can't take a car apart, then maybe the problem is you. Maybe you have a skill issue. Maybe you don't know how to work on damn cars. So that's one issue I've always thrown around. But man, some of the Honda people are fucking delusional, man. The Honda community in general, to me, it's stinky. Most of the time, and I'm not saying this is everybody that drives Hondas, because to me there are like 5 Honda drivers in the world. Old people that just don't want the hassle of having to maintain a car themselves because they're old. They don't, a lot of old people are living on fixed incomes, so they can't afford to just drop shitloads of money on maintenance. Understandable, right? Like who wants to do that? The Honda is a very attractive buy for them. So, awesome. A lot of old people drive Hondas. And here's the thing, right? I hate saying this, but I do work for a Honda as a security guard, so I deal with these people daily. I know what I'm talking about. I talk to the people, the mechanics that work on the damn cars. It's a parts center, so I see the parts that are coming in. I'll give Honda credit where credit's due. They do a lot. They really do as a brand. I know Toyota does a lot too. I don't hate the car brands themselves or the people that drive them. I just hate the people that proclaim them to be the world's best car in the world. Because to me, it's like, to be the best car brand, you have to have the best cars. And the thing is, it's like, Toyota makes some of the ugliest cars. The Prius, their minivan, it's like, to me those cars are quite ugly. The Toyota 4Runner, okay, it's kind of a cool vehicle, but the Tundra and the Tacoma, like when it comes to trucks, America dominates in the truck market. They do. The Ford F-150 is one of the best-selling trucks in America. The Chevy Silverado, the Dodge 1500s. A lot of people like Dodge because of the Cummins engine, but the diesel engines and stuff. The Chevy has the Duramax and Ford has the Power Stroke, and it's like Nissan shares the Cummins, and so it's just like, well, it's like, but the Nissan Titans just don't get the reputation that say the Dodge Cummins, the Dodge gets with the Cummins engine. And so it's just like, the truck market, America dominates the truck market. German car brands don't even make pickup trucks. I could be mistaken, but those vehicles might be only available in Germany. You might have to import them. But to my knowledge, BMW has only made like one pickup truck out of, I think it was the E30 chassis? And it was kind of a joke vehicle. Like, it wasn't intended to do actual heavy lifting. It was just intended to transport parts at one of their things. Like, it wasn't an actual commercially available car. The Volkswagen Beetle has a kit that turns your Volkswagen Beetle into a mini truck. And that, to me, that's one of the stupidest fucking kits in the world. Now, the muscle car movement, on the other hand, was all about high horsepower and torque, drag racing, and other crap like that. It's a symbol of freedom. The muscle car movement died. Okay, we used to have all kinds of cool cars: the Mercury Cougar, the Mercury Marauder, the Ford Gran Torino, the Mustang, the Chevy Vega, the Chevy Nova, the Chevy Chevelle, the Chevy Camaro, which they stopped it, which they discontinued. The Dodge Dart, the Plymouth Roadrunner, the Plymouth Cuda. These cars are just fucking awesome, man. The Pontiac Trans Am, the Pontiac Firebird, the AMC Javelin. Like these are genuinely nice cars that I wished I could own. But the reality is that era passed, the 1970s. Like the Bible says, it came to pass. And they had the oil crisis that they chose to have. And unfortunately, that's where Honda became a real brand, is in the 70s with this Honda Civic, the first gen Civic. And it sucked. It was one of the worst cars you could ever own, in my opinion. Like, it genuinely sucked. There's nothing attractive about it. No one liked it. It's just, the reality was it was good on gas. And because it was decently reliable for the time being, which didn't mean much, it became kind of attractive. And then they just kept improving the Civic. And then eventually in the 1980s, Honda really started to try to make sportier vehicles. Did I make it in last place? Finished in 6th. I'm done, bro. But, and I give them credit, man. In the 1990s is where Honda really peaked with the NSX. A lot of people say the Civic. Here's my problem. Okay, and like, yeah, I'm gonna sound kind of snobby when I say this, and I know it's gonna piss a lot of people off. But there was another Honda. It was the CR something. It was a hatchback thing, A lot of people liked it. I didn't really like it. Look. I don't even think I've unlocked it yet. There it is. No, this is not 1990s. This is a 2000. This is the year 2000 Honda Civic Type R. This car looks like complete shit. I mean, in my eyes, the weird shape of this hatchback, like, I don't like that. It looks like a Volkswagen Golf with more bubbly edges. The headlights are these just obnoxiously ridiculous, they just look ugly. And then the grill is this, like, it looks like a frog. It literally looks like a goddamn frog. Like trying to, like, it looks like a frog on LSD looking at me, bro. Like, I don't like the way this car looks, bro. Like, it just looks like complete shit. It's like, look, the space in the back, like, you have no space back there to put any fucking thing. It's like, yeah, this car is shit. It is complete shit. Horsepower, 182 or 182 fucking horsepower. Like, Burrowski, my BMW made more horsepower than that bone stock, and mine's not an M3. My fucking Explorer almost makes twice that. Now here's an example of a Honda done right. That's the S2000. Okay. Okay, I see you. This is a decent car. The issue I have with this car is it looks kind of like Looks kind of like this car, the Mazda Miata. And this car is just complete. Like, this car is so cringe. It is the smallest, weirdest car. I'm 6'1". I've been inside of a Miata. My head sticks above that. Like, if the roof was down, my head would, like, you'd see my dome pressing up against that, bro. Up against the fucking headliner. This car, eh, it's not that bad looking. It just doesn't look right to me. And don't get me wrong. In my eyes, the Volkswagen Golf GTI, this thing, it too looks like complete dog shit. But hey, that's just my opinion. I hate the Mini Cooper as well. This car is ugly. Green and red. Who fucking put this together? This looks like it wants to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. You know? It's like, what the fuck, green and red? What the fuck? And this car, I've actually sat inside of this thing. It's decently comfortable, and so I've never driven it. I've just sat in it. Eh, it's not for me. It's just, I don't like the way a car looks. See, like that's a decent looking car. Like that's a very sexy. This is the definition of sexy car. I'd say the sexiest looking car in the entire game. Like in the full game, out of every car that you could possibly pick, easily the sexiest looking car in the whole game. Like if I could have any one of these cars in IRL, and this would be like, if it never had issues, if I never had to maintain it, if I didn't have to worry about anything, if it was completely indestructible, if it was like enchanted, it would have to be the Ford GT. This is why I'm a Ford fan. Ford at least made a supercar, the GT. Now, the OG, you know, GT40s, those cars are gangster. Highly sought after. These things go for like 500K. If I had if I was like one of the multi-million dollar TikToker, YouTuber, OF, whatever people, entrepreneurs or Andrew Tate type people with all the money, this would be one of the only cars I'd buy. Nope, nope, I wouldn't buy a Ferrari. I mean, I might buy a Ferrari, but this is definitely a must buy. Now, my favorite version of this car has to be the 2005 Ford GT in blue with the white pinstripes. It is such a beautiful car. Honestly, like hands down. Like this is what makes Ford better than Chevy by a long shot. And it sucks they don't have the 2005 version. There's everyone. There right there is everyone's favorite hero car. At least my favorite hero car. The Need for Speed Most Wanted M3 GTR. This thing was destroying Porsche in the early 2000s. Like this thing was hot. Like broski. Like look at that, bro. Oh my god, bro. This car is just something else. Like holy shit. Everything about this car from like the stainless steel on blue, like dude, this car is just immaculate. This is easily, I'd say this car somehow gets tied with the Ford GT. It's a tie. And obviously, the holy trinity to have a third tie would be the Ferrari F40. And if I was to be extra generous, I would slap on an extension and go as far as to say the Lamborghini Countach is also up there. I'm a big fan of the Countach. It's fun to look at. It's not fun to drive. Like, it's fun to drive, just not on the road. Like, it's fun to drive on, like, a track where there's no traffic. But anyway. Yeah. And this car, the Polestar Hero Edition, this is the hero car of this game. And this car completely sucks ass. This car is a total fucking, like, this car sucks total ass. I'm not gonna hold you.